invitation. They see the one that came from the Ghanaian speaker inviting Moko as Speaker of the Liberian government to attend the inauguration of the new president.
Who do you recognize as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
I recognize whosoever the president of this country recognized as the speaker.
Who is the person?
Whosoever, you may be aware of the person.
I'm not there. I'm not in the house.
Whosoever the government recognized as the speaker, I'm there to do my work, and I still remain firm with the issue of the rule of law. Despite I'm there to work along with whosoever I'm working with. But remember, president will live on.
Do you still recognize Funanti Kofa as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
If Funanti Kofa was the Speaker of the House of Representatives, then he should have been in conformity with the President of the Republic of Liberia. But he's not there.
So if in your words he is not in conformity, who do you recognize as the speaker?
The one who the president recognized.
Who is he?
Clarence.
You know all your colleagues by name small. I mean, why are you not bold? The people of District 3, I think they know you to be a bold guy.
Yeah, but they listen to me calling the name. Why do you want me to drag the name over and over again?
Can you please call? Let me hear it.
Who is the speaker? The present speaker with the 43 member of the House.
You tell us.
Richard Kuhn.
Okay.
Richard Kuhn is the speaker now. Okay. Whether we like it or leave it, Richard Kuhn is the speaker. That's the one the president accepts.
Who do you recognize as Speaker of the House of Representatives?
I recognize
Again, we are close to the end of the week, or better still, we are at the end of another hard working week. I know it has been a long week, but of course today is Friday, the 17th day of July 2026. And of course, this July 17 has been in the media for a very long time. And we expect that the group under the banner, the Protest Coalition, they said they are going to be protesting today. If you want to call it gathering, others want to call it demonstration. But at least stand founded by Moba Malu have said they will be marching today and protesting, presenting petitions to the government and all of that. So today is July 17. Folks, this is the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. We broadcast from Lynch Street here in Central Monrovia. So wherever you are joining us from this morning, we'd love to say you are welcome. Welcome to Liberia. If you are coming here for the first time, And again, welcome to our countrymen and women who arrived on Wednesday from South Africa. This is your country. Invest, do whatever legal business you can do to prosper and contribute to the development of the country. So on this edition of the show, of course, shortly we will bring you the commercials. And the commercials will be followed by a regional update. We'll bring you the fact check segment. Of course, go online and recognize those of you who are following us on OKFM page. And we encourage you to share the show and allow others to join us this morning. And we will have to talk about some of the most important issues happening in the country, ranging from the July 17 protest today organized by Stand Under the Protest Coalition to the Senate recommendation to take punitive action against the Director General of the Civil Service Agency, Dr. Josiah Jokai, and give you the opportunity to voice your opinions on some of these issues happening. At 8 o'clock this morning, Vesely Smo will sit with us. They have some concern about discussions concerning the House's decision to allocate seats in various counties using the 2022 census outcome or findings, if you want to call it. So yes, Vesely Smo will sit with us from 8 to 9 o'clock this morning. And of course, we'll ask all of the questions, and we will stand by our broadcast and ask the hard questions so that they can provide sufficient clarity as to why the House think, Honour Speaker Kun, that they are right or legally correct to do what they did. At 9 to 10 o'clock, we understand the Liberia political centrism movement is having its second anniversary. Of course, when we heard about that, we talked to the spokesperson and also the director for program and research, Mr. Abraham Destiny Gapin and George Guanu Luogon Senior. So they will sit with us 9 to 10 o'clock this morning on the OK Morning Rush. You can miss it. Stay tuned. This is the BKS Early Morning Show in Liberia. My name is Marka Davis, the son of the late Baptist Deacon Fatu Kamara. We're joining shortly. So thanks to Abraham Kane, who is here blessing him. We'll all of us will drive you to 10 o'clock this morning. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll bring you the commercials right here on the OK Morning Rush. Let's go for it.
The Liberia Revenue Authority, LRA, informs all taxpayers and the general public of the ongoing registration exercise for medium and large taxpayers in preparation for the transition to the value-added tax VAT regime. The registration process includes the deployment of an electronic invoicing system in accordance with Section 55C of the Revenue Code of Liberia as amended and the Income Tax EFD regulation. All concerned taxpayers are encouraged to register online on the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr. By clicking on the Online Services tab, selecting GST or VAT registration, and completing the registration process. A team from the LRA will visit your premises to provide support for the registration process. Taxpayers are strongly advised to fully cooperate with the LRA registration teams to ensure successful registration and smooth deployment of the electronic invoicing system. Failure to comply with the registration requirements may result in penalties as prescribed under the amended Revenue Code, including other punitive measures. Please note that pursuant to the Liberia Tax Amendment Act of December 2025, approved on March 24, 2026, the Goods and Services Tax (GST) rate has been adjusted from 12% to 13% as part of efforts to facilitate a smooth transition to the value-added tax VAT system in 2027. For more information, visit the LRA website www.lra.gov.lr or call 0770 572 572. Signed, Marka P. Crote, Commissioner, Domestic Tax Department.
People, they were not easy. The government of Liberia, through the Liberia Traffic Management, says all vehicles, which means kekes, motorbikes, and all types of cars that are not insured, must be insured under the compulsory third-party liability insurance policy. Yeah, but here is the good news. Secure Risk Insurance Company, a 100% Liberian-owned insurance company, finished making everything easy, yeah, my people. When it comes to our cars, kekes, and motorbike business, Secure Risk Insurance Company can insure all our cars, motorbikes, and kekes in just 20 minutes, no wasting time. Secure Risk Insurance Company is located at the corner of Broad and Lynn Streets. For quick access, just send us your car information on WhatsApp and we'll get it insured and delivered to you without extra cost. My brothers and sisters, stop wasting your time and get all your insurance work done in just 20 minutes. My people, Secure Risk Insurance Company Incorporated is a composite insurance company, meaning they can do plenty different kind of insurance, such as life insurance. Life insurance include group life and medical insurance, individual life insurance, etc. Non-life insurance. Non-life insurance include motor third-party insurance, motor comprehensive insurance, fire and burglary, marine insurance, goods in transit insurance, cash in transit insurance, and public liability insurance, etc. My people, to get in contact with Secure Risk Insurance Company, it is very easy, yeah. Just call 0777 015 662 0886 562 865 or 0886 513-287, and our WhatsApp numbers are 0777 015 662 and 0770 297 376. With Secure Risk Insurance Company Incorporated, all your insurance.
Good news to all travelers in and out of Liberia. Sumahoro Transport Service, STIF, has introduced new fleets of buses in Liberia to take travelers from Monrovia directly to Ghana, Abidjan, Guinea, and Sierra Leone. We can also do connections for our passengers to Lomé, Cotonou, and Lagos, as well as Bamako, Dakar, Banjul, Kankan, Madiana, and Labe. We carry valuable items to your loved ones through our courier service. We also have delivery service to your various destinations upon arrival in Monrovia. We have Texas service to and from our parking station to your home. Please come to our red light office opposite Zone 9 Depot Police Station or call 0775 908830 0886 0555 558801 for bookings. ST is here to serve you.
Your cars, generators, and other machines can last much longer when you use the right kind of petroleum products to power your engines. Sunek Group, located on Bushwood Island, is dealer and distributor of high-quality petroleum products across Liberia at available prices. At Sunek Group, we sell and distribute high-quality petrol, gas, and diesel fuel to fueling stations across the nation. Our highly trained, professional, and customer-friendly staff are always willing and ready to serve you. We deliver your petroleum products to your destinations on time. No worries. Power your engines with the right kinds of petrol, oil, and gas today and save time and money. Come to Sunek Group, your one-stop distributor of high-quality petrol, oil, and gas. We are located in a BMC building opposite UBA Bank, just a block away from LPRC on Bushwood Island. For more information, call 0777 062 441 or 0886 473 164. Sunek Group, spinning the wheels of oil and gas in Africa.
Kebe, two of us from this town. I call you here to ask you about what we can do to make our tradition succeed.
Dede, the only thing we can do is to put here on the Women and Girls Protection Act, yeah? With this act, our traditional people will know our girls' rights and they will stop female circumcision.
Liberia's unique culture is our pride, but harmful practices must end.
A message from the Association of Female Lawyers of Liberia, AFL.
The Banking Institute of Liberia, BIL, the training arm of the Liberia Bankers Association, LBA, and the Central Bank of Liberia, CBL, announces the commencement of its professional training program in the following categories. Professional development training. These targets graduating seniors and degree holders. Courses offered: banking and finance, audit and internal controls, procurement and contract management, logistics and supply chain management, public accounting and finance, monitoring and evaluation, M&E, compliance and corporate risk management, human resource and customer relationship management, project management, business analytics, data analysis and management using Power BI, SPSS and Excel, ethics and corporate governance, project proposal writing. Duration, 3 months. Tuition, $275. Business development training. The Banking Institute of Liberia also offers training for high school graduates and college students in business accounting and microfinance management, small and medium enterprise development and management, office administration and business communication. Duration, 2 months. Tuition, $205. All our fees are payable in 3 installments. Training programs at the Banking Institute of Liberia are facilitated by experienced lecturers with practical experience, including bank executives and financial experts. BIL is committed to providing professional training to its clients at international standards. For more information, visit the Institute office at the intersection of Warren and Carey Streets, in the old microfinance building of the Central Bank of Liberia. Banking Institute of Liberia, the Center of Excellence in Banking and Financial Management Training.
Liberia, get ready for the biggest night of comedy, fun, and unforgettable laughter. Friday, July 17th, join One Star Entertainment in collaboration with Divine Event for our explosive comedy night. Honor the team, Unity True Laughter, featuring your favorite comedians and entertainers, Joseph Dean, Quincy T, Angel Michael, Feature Doe, Julius the Comedian, Ma Mary, and Lapukolu, all on one stage for one incredible night. It's happening at the EJS Ministerial Complex Ballroom. Red carpet begins at 7 p.m. So come early, strike a pose, and get ready to laugh until your side hurts. Admission VVIP 150 USD with 3 persons plus drinks and snacks. VIP 100 USD with 2 persons plus drink and snack. Regular is 50 USD with drinks and snacks. Don't miss this event. Everyone will be talking about Comedy Night, Unity True Laughter. See you Friday, July 17th at the EJS Ministerial Complex Ballroom. For table reservation, call 0555 569 920 or 0776 149 616 or better still 0777 515 198. Don't miss this event. Everyone will be talking about Comedy Night, Unity True Laughter. See you Friday, July 17th at the EJS Ministerial Complex Ballroom. Unity True Laughter is proudly sponsored by Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, National Port Authority, Liberia Airport Authority, LPRC, NASCAR, ACMA, Central Cafe, B&J Faction, Club Beer, Kerry Kids, Cementco, and Crown Prince, and media partners include Hot FM and OKFM.
And of course, our cause may compete and Yana to break hell loose. And I'm calling on all your politicians to come and support and let work together in unity for the common goal of this country.
Brother, when you want my vote, then you leave me sinking in a broken boat. You build your towers higher than the sky while the mothers of the... We are brave. We are passionate.
Hey, Tanu, I need cash and there is no ATM around here.
Really? Did you try the EcoBank POS?
POS? I said I need cash. What is it about POS?
Judy, you can get your cash through the POS. All you need to do is to visit any EcoBank Express point or petrol trade gas station and request to use the POS. Guess what? It can also take other bank cards.
Oh, widow, you mean cards from banks overseas too?
Yes, it should just be your Visa card.
Wow, great. So when there is no ATM around me, I'll just use the POS to get my money fast. EcoBank has made it too easy, man. EcoBank and innovation that will 5 and 6 so.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Of course, thanks to our partners here who are, doing business with us. You can do the same here on OKFM 99.5. Of course, this is the OK Morning Rush. And Fatu, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Marka. Thank God we're back. And thank God for life.
Yeah. I love how you really, you are really committed to the church, prayers and the mention of God in everything. I love that. I love that. Mm-hmm. It has become very much intense these days.
Of course, and I hope you don't mean something else, but
no.
It's good. It's good because
of course it is. But what about something else now?
Yeah, because I know you, Marka. You before you say something, there's something else behind it that you want to say, but you're trying to mesmerize it.
Yeah, but nothing, man. Nothing.
Yeah, I know what you mean, right?
Okay.
Yes, yeah. But you're saying it the other way, but I know what the meaning is. But it's good, Marka. Whatever way you mean,
it's good to love God.
Yes, it's good to love
God.
God.
In the church and everything is
good.
Yes,
loving the church, loving God, and my brothers and sisters in the church too.
Yeah.
As well.
The ministers,
Yeah, the ministers and the teachers.
What's the latest from the region?
I'm having some issues accessing
the
latest from the region. But we can take a look at those watching in the
Okay.
meantime.
Yeah. Let me be looking at those of you who have joined us. After that process, then we'll get the latest update from the region. This is the OK Morning Rush here on OKFM 99.5. Nyamfo Due is the first this morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining. Fumba MCC has also joined. Tariti Kanga is following from Capitol Hill. He says Norris B. Suma has joined as well, but this time from Sunny Quilly, Nimba County. Marka Wama is also following. He says from Zulu Whiskey, the land of the rising sun. Silas Wanyen has joined also. Says from the foreign ministry. Hanafi Jalo is following. Amara Se is following. Daviso Castle Boy is also following. Romeo Shannon has joined. Lahai D. Soni is following. Andrew Boakai Masale is also following this morning. Alexander P. James Jr., Nelson Gayu, Ezekiel Dorogbe is also following. Daniel Tante A. Valley Cora has joined from Banju, the Gambia. Harris Morba, Romeo Soko, Ruben Cannon, as usual, is following. Kazi Kaipi is also following. Siku Bakedu Jabate is following from Bakedu town in Kwadu Boni district, number 4, Lofa County. Zico Rare has joined from Batnersville Estate. Othero 2P Graves is following. Peter Wande is also following. Walker Sam J. Flourish. Beningo Bala Newton. Joan Diba is following as well. Benjamin Kanambo is following. Seliki Trari is also following. We have Armstrong Wa Binda, Erin Isaac Magi, Johansson F. Wia is following from Dupodro, former representative candidate in that district. Alfonso Dro is following, like Dro Fernandez from Barcelona to PSG. M. Benito K. Manoba has joined this morning as well. He says from Wanwusu Junction, Stephen Fowler Jr. is following this morning from Gardnersville. You can share and allow others to also join the broadcast this morning. This is the OK Morning Rush. You know, we can't mention everyone because of time. We'll just go back to Fatu for the latest from the continent.
So the latest, we go to Uganda, where a school bus crash kills at least 20 pupils in Uganda. At least 20 school-going children and one adult have been killed after a bus carrying pupils on a study trip crashed in eastern Uganda, local officials say, in one of the country's deadliest road accidents involving children in recent years. Dozens of others, including school staff, were injured in the crash in Kapchowa area on Thursday evening. Preliminary investigations show the bus suffered a mechanical fault before the driver lost control in Chakwiti Hill, a stretch of road that has been the site of several serious crashes, according to local officials. The driver reportedly lost control of the vehicle, which veered off the road, struck a large stone alongside the road, and overturned, police said. The bus carrying pupils from King David Jr. School in Nje crashed at about 17 hours GMT at Chakwati village in Kawawa area, police said. Sadly, 20 children and one adult, who happens to be the founder and director, Mr. Tadio Sekadi, have gone to be with the Lord. Minister of Local Government Balim Atenyi Barugara posted on X while at the scene.
Wow.
That's
Yeah, that's a very tragic incident, and
Google.
what more can we say than to pray their souls rest in peace and extend our condolences to the bereaved families.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad news.
And I said that road, that part of the road is known, for some of the deadliest accidents in Uganda. I don't know what the authorities, are doing about that.
Yeah. So a lot of things need to improve. Safety awareness. I
Yeah.
mean, drivers being on the alert themselves. Sometimes like we experience here on this Banga Highway. Sometimes these tragic accidents are repeating, but
Yeah.
sometimes you wonder whether the drivers are really cognizant of what is happening along the road.
Especially this issue with trucks in Liberia.
Yes.
Almost every week lately, you hear that a truck, has killed somebody.
Yeah.
Either in the southeast, either in Monserrado here. We've heard a lot of different stories involving trucks.
Yeah.
Yes, even though the other, taxis, over speeding, all of that, but this issue with trucks in Liberia really need to be, looked into.
Yeah, I think so. At one point in time, we were advocating that the Ministry of Transport, try to do something like restricting at what time these big trucks can get on the road. We were proposing like at least 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes, they can start to move. But then we talk about that for over 2 months and nobody listened. So at the end of the day,
and they've
it
seen
seems
the
to be-
wave of accidents these
Yeah,
trucks
so-
are causing around.
Imagine,
the
I saw a post yesterday about that student who lost her
Yes.
leg after the amputation. She was on her phone in the photograph, and that
It's so
lady,
devastating.
that lady coming up with her dream,
Yes.
her vision, and everything, not thinking that one day she will be someone who
Yeah.
will be walking on one leg.
Yeah.
Just because of one driver's recklessness, you cause somebody a lifetime pain.
And Marka, it's not just about the trucks, but the drivers in those trucks are reckless.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When they pass by you, when you small car on they see you like ants. Right? So they will be running and will not even give the other cars space because they think they're too big. So when you see them, you should leave. You should leave the road.
Yeah, and sometimes I wonder what is the traffic the division of the Liberia National Police is doing, because this is something we raised over the period of time. Tragic accident one after the other, and at the end of the day, we don't see changes in their behaviors. So if there were, some actions taken to ensure that people are abiding by safety measures, they will change their attitude. But once nothing is happening, they don't care.
You see, Marka, there's something that we keep avoiding. Is this fight of public officials avoiding the media?
Yeah.
Public officials avoiding. Marka, something important will happen. And you'll see a public official, instead of maybe talking to, media or journalists who go to them or even ask them to come on the radio and clarify, they will sit and write on their Facebook pages. Or call one day journalist they know they're very close or have personal relationship with, and the person go and do one story defending them or defending whatever the person is doing or whatever is happening. And it has to stop. The public has to have a knowledge of what is going on. Like the truck issue now, you go right now, maybe you invite, the traffic department of the Liberian National Police and say, oh, come here and let's talk about this issue, so that maybe people, you can hear from the Liberian people as to what they think about it, and tell us what you are doing about it, right? They will not come, Marka.
Sure.
They will not come.
They won't come.
Yeah.
Except when they are either in trouble or
Yeah, when they
or they
in
want
trouble.
to achieve certain things, then yeah. I mean, which is wrong. I mean, it is very good to to communicate. That is an essential part of democracy.
Of course.
Information dissemination is an important part of democracy. People should know what you're doing, and it is a tool to show transparency and accountability.
Yeah.
You must be accountable for whatever action you take. Okay, so a level you, if you are taking illegal actions, doing wrong things, clandestine things, then you will have to face whatever. But the media is open. Give the public information. It's not, you are not speaking to the journalists.
Yeah.
You are speaking to the larger public
Yeah.
to understand exactly what these issues are.
Yeah.
Having said that,
then lastly, when the public speculate or these bloggers speculate and just write anything, and then they blame the media.
The bloggers, but they can just write so not and no small fat in it.
Yeah.
They will add whatever they can add and just put it out there. You ask them, they say, but we are blocking a level you to go and provide the clarity.
And then you sit down there again, talk to the journalists, and then you blame the media.
Yeah. Thank you on that, Fatu. In passing, it's not a very major discussion. We just want to let the Liberian people know that today is July 17, and Stand and Waba Molu under the protest coalition have planned over months that they will be doing protests today to petition the government on different counts. They talk about the national drug crisis. They said they are demanding immediate, decisive action against escalating drug epidemic, especially the influx of substances like kush, which they talk about. They also talk about the worsening economic hardship. The protesters are raising their voices against the high cost of living, low minimum wages, and the lack of basic social services for ordinary citizens. They also talk about government accountability. They are expressing frustration over a perceived lack of transparency, calling for the government to address widespread corruption and the rule of law issues. They also talk about specific unresolved cases. The movement they are demanding full transparency regarding the 19.2 million cocaine seizure case at Rabat International Airport, amongst many other things that they said they are protesting for today. So, for me, my message is that protest is part of democracy. It is a constitutional right for citizens to assemble and petition the government on issues that they think are affecting the well-being of the country and the people. So that right cannot be taken away from anybody, but also realize that, you know, while you have that right to exercise, other people too have right to, for example, free movement, so and also security of their life. So while you are exercising your right to peacefully assemble and petition a government on issues you think are not correct, you also have the responsibility to protect other people's rights. So avoid throwing stones. There were reports from the police that you were facing some petrol bomb, whatever it is, even though Stan came up to
debunk.
To debunk if you may or reject that report. So you have to be peaceful. You have to, like I've said, over the period of time, we must talk and solve our issue and not fight, because fighting cannot solve our issues. So be peaceful. Give access to other people who are going to their businesses and to work, and people who are going by the normal. Ensure that they have access. They have freedom of movement. Ensure you protect the safety of other people, other citizens who are going about their normal activities. Ensure that your march or protest is peaceful, that it does not undermine the peace and security of the country. Because we can, like I've said, we cannot do development in crisis. We must have peace in order to develop the country. So for the protest, that's what I want to say. And we also want to call on the Liberian National Police to accord them the security they deserve, while also protecting their rights and protecting the rights of other people.
Yeah. That's it. You said all. We just have to remind Stan that their last protest they had, there were chaos around here.
Yeah, some people
car glasses were broken. You know, there were stones being thrown. Some people even got hurt, and you know, people never had free movement that day, especially along that Jalatan route. So when you're protesting, you make sure you respect the rights of others, and also people's properties will be around. Stand. Remember that the last time your protest was chaotic, other people, you imagine I was moving that day along the Jalagan route and I afraid, right? I can't even get down from the keke. I seen people car glasses all crash. We have to be, clear and tell these people, when you're protesting, some of us we living in a country here, everybody facing the blunt of the economy. You're not facing it. Way high, everybody.
I see.
So
Everybody
when you doing it, don't
come.
cooking the soup and putting it in a freezer.
Yeah.
Now you're going affecting everybody. But when you're protesting, you have the right to protest. We're not disputing that. But when you get in the street, do it peacefully. When you march, you march. You don't go and start breaking people's houses, or breaking people's car glasses, or hurting people, or throwing stones. And Soup will be also. I think Soup is joining the protest too as
Soup
well.
is joining. The student party is joining.
The student party. Soup. Comrades. Let me call it that kind of way.
Yeah.
Comrades. We have people who have their work to do. I know other offices have closed today, but some of us, we can close.
Yeah.
Other people can close. The business people can close. There are students too who don't close. They have to go to school. So we have to remember all of that. When you get in the street, if you're protesting, you're walking, you walk and go and come back and chant your slogans and sing your songs, hold your placards and go back home. Don't disturb other people. We just have to be clear and tell them. Because when you do it, we'll come back and say this is what Stan did. And it's our role, it's our responsibility to report just as it is happening. So your last protest was chaotic. We don't want it to be that way. Please respect other people's rights. Don't damage people's properties. We don't want that.
Okay. So just in maybe 4 minutes, the issue with the CSA Director General, Josiah Jokai, and the Liberian Senate. We can all recall during the official launch of NIMBO. And we saw some politicians there, and we saw the CSA boss also there, join in a celebration and all of that. Later on, people who have been reading the code of conduct raised issue that they believe what the CSA boss did was in violation of the code of conduct, and then they started to criticize. So later they would know that the Liberian Senate was taking note of that, and it became an issue in the Liberian Senate. So it was forwarded to the Senate Judiciary Committee, and they made their recommendation on yesterday. They made a recommendation, and the Senate took a decision on that recommendation. But I wanted to check just to see what portion of the code of conduct that this could serve as, maybe education for other public officials too. So part 5, which talks about political participation in section 1. Section 5.1 says all officials appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia shall not A. Engage in political activities, canvass, or contest for elected offices. B. Use government facilities, equipment, or resources in support of partisan or political activities. C. Serve on a campaign team of any political party or the campaign of any independent candidate. 5.2 say wherein any person in the category stated in section 5.1 herein above desires to canvass or contest for an elective public office, the following shall apply. Any minister, so this one was talking about, if you want to contest, you should resign said position 2 years prior to the date of the election. So just from 5.1, it is clear that people appointed by the president are not supposed to do all of that. So if you see what happened at the NIMBO program, you will know clearly that this person is CSA Director General, a presidential appointee serving a very critical institution in the government in the country, was there at that political activities. So if you listen to the reading, the section that I just read, it said they should not be part of any political activities. So that means the Senate was right to initiate whatever investigation they initiated. But let's also look at the outcome of what the Senate did after the investigation. So I'm reading this from the Liberian Senate page on Facebook. It says, the Liberian Senate has recommended to the President of Liberia some punitive actions to be taken against the Director General of the Civil Service Agency, Honorable Josiah F. Jokai, for violating provisions of the Code of Conduct. The Senate's decision followed a complaint from Bapolu County Senator Amara Kone, bringing to the attention of plenary what he described as violation of the National Code of Conduct by a presidential appointee. In taking the decision, the Senate plenary recommended to the chief executive several reprimands ranging from suspension, fines to dismissal. According to the communication from Senator Conan, presidential appointees are expected to uphold the obedience of laws and statutes to the highest standards in order to guide the behavioral patterns of employees under their stewardship. The Bapolu County Senator further stated that the violation carried out by the Director General of CSA by attending and participating in a political program, as well as wearing the paraphernalia of a political movement, undermines the public trust, as it has the potential to derail credibility within the public service. Yes, so they just did a background. Following the votes, Margibi County Senator Nathaniel McGill filed a motion for reconsideration. Well, what was that outcome? So the most important thing here is that people who are occupying public, in fact, it comes straight to the issue of obeying our laws. We can make the laws and just put them on a shelf and we say, to hell with the laws, to hell with these, different professional regulatory guidelines. We can do that. We can't make law and throw it away. It's not just for the name of making laws. We must respect the laws we make, because it is for making these laws that we are even paying these lawmakers 6,000. I know some of them take home, especially members of the House, some of them take home a little over $5,000 to $6,000. That's serious money we're paying in there, and that for making laws we pay them. So we can pay them to make the law, then we turn around and disregard the laws. It is not good. It doesn't serve as a principle that future generations coming will follow. So I think some of these harsh punishments are very important. I have noticed in the past, like I said before, I started voting in 2005. I noticed that when people are in the executive, sometimes they enjoy some executive protection. But we see that these days, sometimes they are bringing these very executive officials to book. It is very important. Just recently, Samuel Nangwe was before the Senate, and he was, mandated to publish his apology to the Senate in 5 local dailies for 5 consecutive days. That good punishment. That, you know what I mean, to print. You know what I mean, to publish that in the newspaper. That's serious money down there. Almost your 2 months salary going down there. Now Joka is being brought to book, and some see him as a powerful figure in the government, in the executive, and he's being brought to book. This is important. This is what we should do, to set the example, to make sure that we respect our laws. Because if we do not start to respect or enforce these laws now, in election year, it will be out of control. So that's what I can say. We have 7 minutes to go. Fatu can say what you want to say, and then we can take up, of course, before we will have Vesely here.
So I was at the National Fisheries Investment Conference at Farmington, and somebody said we have too many different laws in Liberia to the extent, and people are talking about developing, I think, fisheries policy. And then the person said, to the extent we have the policy of the policy for the policy to the policy, so we have policy for the policy, in order that. So we have all of the laws, but then the implementation, like the person is saying, I'm not sure we don't have, policies on fisheries, all of that, but how are we implementing them? So it's the same with this issue of the code of conduct, and we've been saying it. Clarence has talked about it the other day. He had to join the line with Amos Tuetu, who was actually also defending, this issue. So we can't have the code of conduct, then we'll be going against everything that is written there. Then why should we have a code of conduct then? Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take some calls. At least the legislature, especially the Liberian Senate, is proving to have teeth to bite. A lot of times you see people criticize, they say, oh, the legislature has been controlled by the executive, but the latest actions we've been seeing from the senators, they are not being in any way controlled by the executive. So, I mean, these are good things. Let's take some calls. 0777 995 995. Good morning.
Yeah, so the son of the late Babde Digon.
Yes, good morning. Go ahead.
Good morning, Marka.
Morning.
Let me say morning to Fatu. What's up, Fatu?
30 seconds, we don't have much time, please.
Let's the boys of Sapu Rasta call for a proud member of the concerned Librarian for Justice. So, Marka, I also want to arm my voice to your voice to appreciate the Librarian Senate. First time for me to agree with the Senator, but look, Marka, here is my concern. I know that Marka, I've been recommended by the Librarian Senate, nothing will come from Isa. Trust me, Marka, I want to be on record for that. You know that Marka, the government, when it comes to the MCC scorecard, in terms of rule of law, the government say. So the government does not respect the issue of rule of law. We said it every time we had a number that the civil agency who dismiss employees because of the code of conduct today is in violation. Up to now, Marka, nothing has been taken even for the Liberation to come. But I think it's close to them.
But what you mean by nothing has been done? Now? Everything must be done in line with procedures now. You can just wake up one morning, no investigation, no Senate action, and you just say, my man, go sit down. Do due process to people, my man. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. 30 seconds, please.
I work from the GMP and doing for the Liberian Foundation. Along with the International to headquarters in the community. My question here is the Senate is very in my mind, they are in the wrong because I don't see NAMOD to be a political institution. If it is registered by the Liberian National Election Commission, then of course they have an issue. But they are not being...
So are you saying, are you referring to documentation? Because if you say you don't see NAMO to be a political institution, when the founder of that group has said that group was formed to support the re-election of President Bouaka in 2029, you say you don't see a political institution. What does that mean?
Somebody can say anything. It does not meet legitimacy. You have to understand that to be an institution in this place, you must be registered on the Liberian government. That is my point.
But the number is not registered.
I don't believe so.
Okay, no problem. We'll do the search to see. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Good morning.
My name is Raf Raja, and I call from Monrovia.
Go ahead, Raf.
Yeah, Marka, I heard you read the code of conduct, but my thing is, I'm kind of confused. How do you reconcile Article 17 of the Liberian Constitution with that of the Code of Conduct? Because Article 17 makes it clear that every citizen has the right to freely assemble and to associate and disassociate and to be a part of political activities. And the civil servant's boss is a Liberian citizen, and I think he's covered under that right. So how do we reconcile both the Article 17 as well as the Code of Conduct? That's my issue here. How do you think can we reconcile that? Are we going to forego Article 17 and then the Code of Conduct takes precedence over Article 17 or what? So the Constitution is kind of ambiguous. So let's see the two, right? Article 17 gives him that right to assemble, to freely assemble and participate in political activities. And Article 81 as well gives him the right to canvass, except that he should not use state resources to do exactly what he's doing. That's all. So how do we reconcile the two?
So who determine whether you use state resources, for example, driving your official government car to the program and all of that?
Did you see him staying with the official government car and canvassing from Nemo? Did you see him with any such thing?
So anyway, you can direct these questions to the senator that is taking that decision as well.
Okay, go. So I answer the question. That's my concern, bro.
Okay, that's your concern. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, I think the coroner just dropped a last stock of very important point.
Article 17 and Article 81. Because the Constitution says any law or statute that is inconsistent with the Constitution of the people of Liberia, that identical statute is not involved. So I think we need to call lawyers, to be able to explain this regarding the entire court. Because our politician is being appointed to opposition. Then the man who is elected, so you get a man who is elected and leverage to canvass, to go anywhere to do a political activities. But the man who is appointed by a president who is a politician is being denied or deprived for canvassing, for attending political rally and other things. So then how do we reconcile that? So it's a serious contradiction. I think they law just meant to target, the executive, to target the executive here, maybe because of certain political reasons.
Okay. Let me go to this line. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Marka.
Good morning, quickly. We're not getting you clearly. You have to position your phone very well. You have to call back. The line is bad. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Good morning. Go ahead.
And good morning to Fatu. Marka. People should pass law. Hello.
Your name, where you join us from?
Marka, I'm Lando Nuri. I call from Bano this morning.
Okay.
So, Marka, people in the legislature should begin to legislate acts that will be in line with the Constitution.
Okay.
Article 2 say any law who contravene the Constitution is notwithstanding. And this as a reason why Amos Were went to the court and the court had not come down with a ruling yet. Look, portion of the article, portion of the Code of Conduct, they contravene Article 11A, Article 18, and Article 17. So once they contravene, people will go to court. That's the same way with the new election law. 5.1 and 5.2. They also contravene Article 77 and Article 17 of the Constitution. So yet people begin to use the research officer here to use the legislative and lawmaking and bureau to be able to do research before they come out with law. This law, you don't make law that people will challenge, then a big stigma. I must say, well, as the legislature, we can tell somebody this legislature, I've been in that place for the past 20 years. Since 2006, we've been there. People should be able to make law. In that case, that will be challenging court, and how it will be a backlash to the library.
Okay. Thank you. Let me take the final one. Vesely is here already. Good morning. Sorry, let me get you on speaker.
One of the reasons in Liberia is that moving forward is our forefather. I think some of these guys laws. The organic law clearly told us that any law that is like within the Constitution.
I don't know, your line is really cracking. Your line is really cracking.
You getting me now, right?
Go ahead.
Yes. So, how will the code of conduct be above the organic law? Because Article 17 says every citizen, including government appointee, the president appointee, they should be free to assemble. Then how come now the code of conduct says certain group of people should not assemble at certain place? That is a contradiction.
Okay, so we will try to find lawyers who will come here and give us some real legal education on that. But these are all points that you are making. Let me do this. Good morning. 30 seconds, please. Your name, where you join us from?
My name is Harford K. Marka, and so I want to thank those who are, contributing to the program, talking about article, this article. So when he was taking decision on other people, they didn't consider the same article. Let's be frank here, man. You can't be doing things like that. He, the same person, came and was talking against other people that took part in campaign, doing CDC time, election, and you were firing here. So the same thing he was doing, he when he did it, now he forgot Article 17, Article 6, Article D, Article B. Now it's coming back to him.
Okay.
So they should keep quiet, please. Let the Senate go ahead with the action.
Oh. You buy your best one. Yes, so thanks to all of you who called. That was very interesting. People raised serious legal questions, which are very healthy for the conversation. We're hoping that the legal people will be available to provide some legal answers to these questions. So Vesely is here. He works at the level of the House of Representatives or in the office of the Speaker as media advisor. Good morning, Chief. How are you?
Good morning, Marka. Good morning to those listening and viewing the program as well. And good morning to Liberians in general.
Yeah, that's good. You know, anytime I'm interviewing or having conversation with people who sat in this very seat, I always ask them, I mean, how does it feel? You're now listening to other people's analysis on things you used to talk about, but you are not, on air now to be doing this. I mean, what's the difference? What does it feel?
It feels a little weird, most times.
What do you wear by?
I'm sitting in my vehicle and monitoring the conversation about the Senate's decision on the CSA bus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I can be in a position to have my say, but unfortunately, I can't. So, it makes it a little weird. I'm in the studio, I'm listening to the callers and folks are saying things, and I'm hoping I have the opportunity to say mine. Yeah, that exactly is what makes it weird. But I mean, you make choices, you make decisions in life, and you have to stick with them. So that's what we chose to do.
Yes, that's great. But how is your office and the office of the Speaker?
The office of the Speaker is good. I mean, the public can be the judge. We just on yesterday concluded the second quarter of the third session of the 55th legislature. So, in effect, the House of Representatives has adjourned. The House will be returning in October as part of the schedule for the calendar year. The House currently operates in 3 quarters. So we did the first quarter, closed for I think 10 weeks. We did the second quarter, and it closed yesterday, and we returned for the third quarter in October. But that's basically what the schedule looks like. But the House really doesn't close, as in shut down. Members of that body continue to work. Of course, the office of the Speaker will remain opened for business. And so the House is functioning well. I mean, I don't speak on behalf of the House. Let me provide that clarity. A fine gentleman in Robert Haynes is the person clothed with the responsibility to do so. But since you asked, and since the office of the Speaker is the first office at that House, that's why I'm saying the House, right? So I'm sure Comrade Haynes will give me some latitude to do so. But I mean, the office is good, the Speaker is good, and I think we're doing basically why we were, elected to head the House.
Yeah, so in recent days, especially on yesterday, during our broadcast, we raised some issues concerning the decision from the House of Representatives on the allocation of new seats in districts, and people have been questioning, including us, whether the House has that constitutional authority to do so. Firstly, can you provide us some background how this whole conversation started from the House and before we arrived at where we are now, apportioning seats in counties?
Yeah, I like us to always have these kinds of conversations in context, because sometimes when you just broaden the conversation, a lot of people tend to mix other aspects of different things into the conversation when the conversation actually should be focused on one topic.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's put the conversation in context. there are frequently asked questions. I listen to the radio a lot and I follow social media as well. So I've been following the public reaction to what the House has done. So what are the frequently asked questions, before we give the context? A lot of people are asking, like you just asked, right? What made the House to do so? What authority do they have to, like you said, apportion seats, which is not the case though, but I'll get to that. People are asking why now. I think I saw a post from one of the senators, asking what was the urgency in apportioning seats. In fact, there are people who are concerned that members of the House are doing so for their own benefits. People are even questioning the economic impact of such a decision. So these are the FAQs, right? So let's put it in a context. First of all, the decision by the House to set a threshold is not a political decision. It's a constitutional mandate. Article 39 of the Liberian Constitution says that the House shall cause a census of the Republic to happen every 10 years. That's what it says. It's very definite. It says the House shall, the legislature that is, shall cause a census of the Republic to happen every 10 years. Now, it didn't say the legislature will conduct the census. It says it shall cause it to happen. Now, that phrase shall cause would suggest that the legislature will put in place the mechanisms to ensure that it happens. Now, what are the mechanisms that the legislature must put in place? You think policy, the financial the financial requirements needed to ensure that the census happen and provide the necessary oversight. Those are the mechanisms that will constitute shall cause in this case. So let's go back. The Constitution under which we are operating was written in 1986 or was adopted in 1986. So let's take from 1986 to now. Has the legislature been able to cause a census of the Republic to happen every 10 years since 1986? The answer is no. The last census on record before 1986 was held in 1984. As far as our records show, the census result was not validated. So those who wrote the Constitution in 1986 and put in there in Article 80D, a threshold of 20,000 were not operating on a validated census result. So the Constitution in Article 80D, in Article 80D, the Constitution says every constituency shall have 20,000. Let me quote verbatim because we're talking constitutional issue here. So let me try to quote verbatim so that I don't miss the words, because every single word in that part of the Constitution is very important. So let's go to Article 80D, which talks about where is 8 legislature to Article 80D is I have it. It says every constituency shall have an approximately equal population of 20,000. We're talking in 1986 now. Or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe in keeping with population growth and movements as revealed by a national census. So in 1986, they set a threshold of 20,000, but realized or recognized that the population would grow. So they say 20,000 or such number, so that such number, 20,000, or such number of citizens as the legislature shall prescribe. Now, I want you to underline the word prescribe, in keeping with population growth and movements. So recognizing that the population will grow, those who wrote the law says, or such number in keeping with population growth and movement as the lawmakers will prescribe. 10 years after 1986, we were fighting war, so nobody could count anybody. As a matter of fact, the only counting we could do was the number of people that were dying. So it took 14 years, from 89 to 2003, and nobody counted anybody. People died, people were born. We did not know how many persons were living in Liberia. We had elections in 2005, 2006, a new government was ushered in. We did not have a census until 2008. The Madam Serif administration realized that there was a need to count the amount of people that were here, because we just had an approximate number of people that had died. We always say 250,000, right? So by 2008, we needed to know how many persons were living. So they did the census in 2008, and the validated census results showed that we were a little over 3.5 million people. On the basis of that, according to the Constitution, it says that immediately following a census, immediately, it didn't say after some time, by your own discretion. The law says that immediately following a national census and before the next election, that is Article 80E, immediately following a census and before the next election, the Elections Commission shall reapportion the constituencies in accordance with the new population figures, so that every constituency shall have as close to the same population as possible. Right? That is what the law says. Now, on what basis the Elections Commission shall reapportion the new constituencies? On the basis of a threshold set by the legislature.
Of course.
Good. So the law is clear, but I want us to focus on the time. It says immediately following. So by 2010, that was 2 years after the census was held in 2008, the then legislature, the 52nd legislature, went about formulating.
So for record, the following census should have been on 2018.
Yes. I'll come to why we hold it in 2018. So the legislature in 2010 drew up a threshold to somewhere around 40,000. That threshold would have enabled 4 counties to have additional seats, while the rest of the 9 would not have had seats. The rest of the 11, would not have had seats. I'm thinking we still have 13 counties. So it was passed by the legislature. It went to former President Shirley. She vetoed it. It went back to the legislature. They could not get it across, so they drew up a resolution instead. It was on the basis of that resolution that the elections of 2011 was held. Now, 2018 we were supposed to have a census. We could not have a census in 2018 because when the administration of former President Weah took over, they complained that they did not have the finance needed to conduct a census. They had just taken over. That made, because it is the legislature that should cause it to happen. So the legislature probably did not put the money there for the census, and the executive complained that they did not have the resources needed. So they said, okay, let's take it by a year. There was a resolution drawn up to extend the time for the census to 2019. Unfortunately, COVID came. So COVID took up 2 years. After COVID, again, the same excuse, no resources. We did not have the census until 2022. When the census was held 2022, we all remember there were questions raised, people had doubts and all kinds of things. In fact, even the census people were taking to court and all those different things, right? Eventually, we learned in 2024 before we could get a validated census result. Now, that census result that was validated shows that we have a little over 5.3 million people living in Liberia. Now, that is an increment of a little over 50% of the last time we checked ourselves. What does that say? It says that the reason why those who wrote the Constitution say every 10 years because they assume that by nature of growth, we'll be able to check, how many persons we have in line with how we measure development. Let's not forget we want a participatory democracy, which says that everybody, every Liberian citizen has the right to equal representation under the law. So, given that we all have the right to equal representation, it means that we should, as much as possible, try to ensure that all of us are equally and evenly represented at the level of the legislature. That is the essence of conducting a census politically. So, because we skipped all these years, we have arrived at a point where the population has grown by 50%. But we're still operating. We ran 3 general elections on the same population result of 2008. We ran the 2011, the 2017, and the 2023 elections on that population result, which in effect has made it lopsided in line with representation because the population has grown over time, but we're not being able to keep track of how many persons we are so as to ensure that we have equal representation. Fast forward, we have arrived at 2022, we conducted a census. We have a validated census result. Let's go back to Article 80E. It says immediately following a census and before the next election, the legislature should set the threshold so that the Elections Commission can reapportion electoral districts. That is the law. And it's that law that the legislature is following currently. The legislature did not wake up by themselves and decide, okay, we think we'll not get plenty now, therefore new districts. No. The legislature is simply following the law. The law says immediately following a census. That is why we are where we are.
So you keep making emphasis on the immediately. If it did not happen immediately, does that, are you saying...
That's a violation of the law.
Are you saying even if it is a violation, that means it automatically give the right to the legislature to approach, just instead of setting a threshold, telling Monserrato you have 3 additional seats, Nima you have 2 additional seats?
Nobody has said that.
But that's the reports we've been getting.
Well, that is the report you have been getting, but that is not what
from
it
the
is.
legislature.
No.
What did the House do?
Good. So let's address the immediacy first. Immediate shows not a definite timeline, but it shows a period.
And before the next election.
Yes.
But before,
which is very critical.
Yeah.
It's very critical because our law says, in fact, the elections law says that any law or policy that must take effect on the next election must be done a year before the election. We expect elections in 2029. So it means that by latest 2028, anything that has to do with what will have an impact on that election must already be put in place. If the legislature does not set the threshold now, because the thing about apportioning or reapportioning districts is a very technical work. It will take time. You don't know how long it will take the Elections Commission to do so. So the legislature is trying to act as early as possible in line with the immediacy attached to Article 80E, so that the NEC has the latitude of time to carry out the technical work of reapportioning districts. That's why we're acting now. So that answers the immediacy attached to the Article 80E. But let's come to what was done. I like when you say that's the reports we have been getting. And I've been in the journalism business too, so I understand how it's easy for news to filter out of sources, sometimes not primary sources, secondary sources, and we would tend to cleave to them, maybe until the real information comes. So it's good that I'm here to provide what the real information is.
Okay. Give us the real information.
I've seen write-ups from senators. Yeah.
So even the senators don't have the real information?
I would assume so.
Okay. Give us the real information.
Because their posts suggest so.
Okay.
Now, I'll speak specifically to, it's not targeting him, but because he has been very outspoken about this.
So just tell us what the House did.
No, I'll come to that. You know the reason why it is important to reference what they said, because you're referencing it as well. You're saying even senators said it. So it means that what they've been posting carries weight.
We read some of their posts yesterday on the show.
It carries weight, right? Now, when did the House act? On Tuesday. Some of those posts were rating even on Monday. In fact, I remember one of the such posts was rating even last week. So people were preempting what will happen, or people are guessing. And I don't like to see lawmakers guess because we pay them taxpayers' money to ensure that they have.
Why are they
information
guessing?
available.
Are you holding on to the information? Is that why people are guessing?
No.
Okay.
They're guessing because they're not waiting for the time to be fed with the information. Look, let me go to what the House did. So maybe it just answers everything.
Yeah.
So the House, after several months of technical work behind the scenes, the Committee on Elections and Inauguration, headed by Representative Thomas Romeo Kuyo, visited countries. They went to Tanzania. They went to Ethiopia. They didn't go to Merrimack. They went there to learn how those countries came up with this very same decision, how legislatures in those countries came up with this very same decision of setting a threshold after missing out on their growth in population. They came back. They've had several months of meetings with technical folks from LSGs, from the Elections Commission, and all other entities involved. There's a whole technical group working behind the scenes that came up with this decision. It took a lot of back and forth, I can tell you that. Before it was sent to plenary voted in its numbers more than the 2/3 that is needed. They need to say yea and nay. They signed. It means more than 2/3 of the lawmakers at the House signed to this resolution determining the threshold.
Where can we find that record?
The record of how many persons signed?
Vote, yes.
I'll publish that today.
Okay.
For the record, I'm on the radio, I'm saying I'll publish the list of those who signed today. So, a threshold in line, because the law says the legislature shall prescribe the number of persons, or prescribe the threshold in line with population growth and movements. So the legislature the House has prescribed a threshold. Now, in 1986, the folks, without a validated census result, and with probably little regard,
they said 20,000.
Yeah, they just said 20,000. And it says such number in line with population growth and movement. So I can understand when people read the law and say, okay, because it was a fixed number in 20,000, it should always be that kind of fixed figure, 20,000, 40,000, 60,000. Yes, it would have been easier had we kept track of population growth and movement in line with the constitutional time frame of 10 years. But we haven't. So because we've had this gap in determining population growth and movement in line with the census, we are faced with a situation where the population has become more concentrated in urban areas because everybody's moving towards economic opportunities. So in Monrovia, for example, and I'll give you figures to justify that. In Montserrat County, in Montserrat County, the census result, the validated census result says that we're about 1,920,000 plus persons living in Montserrat County.
Meaning we are close to 2 million people.
Yeah, we are nearly 2 million people living in Montserrat County alone. How many persons live in River Cess? According to the validated census result of 2022, it says in River Cess, 124,000 persons, 653 live in River Cess. Now, Marka River Cess is just about what, 6 hours drive, or 4 hours, depending on the road condition, away from Montserrat County.
Yeah.
If 2 million persons live in Montserrat, and just 124,000 persons live in River Cess, it tells you how much population has driven towards the economic activities in Montserrat County. So the population is concentrated in a few counties, while some counties, even with large landmarks, are sparsely populated.
Okay, so let's go to the decision. What did the House do?
So, given the nature of our population concentration, it became nearly impossible to say, let's set a threshold of this fixed number. So, the legislature, in its wisdom, the House, in its wisdom, said, let's do a tier-based threshold. A tier-based. They did not say, let's give this country this number of seats. They did a tier-based threshold.
What is that?
What is a tier-based threshold? The tier-based threshold basically says that Honorable Elections Commission, from this number to this number of cities, any county that has from this number to this number of citizens, apportion this amount of seats. From this number to this number of citizens, apportion this amount of seats. And what is the number? This is the threshold that was set. It says, it said 4 tiers. Tier 1, any county that has from 0 to 130,000 persons living in that county, don't add any seat to that county.
130,000.
From 0 to 130,000.
No new seat.
No new seat.
Okay.
From 130,001 to 310,000, add 1 seat. From 310,001 to 700,000 persons, add 2 seats. From 700,001 and above, add 3 seats. Now, somebody saying, but that is not what they told the legislature to do. Well, they said the legislature should prescribe.
So my question was just in line with that. How is that decision or whatever technical ideas used backed by constitution provisions?
Because the law says the legislature shall prescribe. Prescription means they say prescribe in line with population growth and movements. It didn't say the legislature shall set a specific number. It says it shall prescribe in line with population growth and movements. Now we are witnessing a massive movement and growth of the population towards urban communities and counties. If the legislature sets a carte blanche number and says 90,000 is the threshold,
or 60,000,
or 60,000 is the threshold, we will encounter a situation where there will be counties that currently may lose a seat. The second thing is we may have a situation where there may be counties where we may not have an equal representation, because by the time we check 60,000 and 60,000 out of some counties, for example, let's take River Cess. If, for example, the number was set at 60,000, River Cess has 124,000, right?
We will still getting the 2 seat now because they say, numbers are at least close
approximately, right?
Yeah.
Now, well, let's take another county, for example, that has maybe up to 160,000 persons, and we say 60,000. 60 and 60 will be 120. That means there will be 40,000 persons who may be underrepresented. The point I'm making here is the law also says, let's not forget that the number of seats should not exceed 100, and that each constituency must stay within a county. So this threshold, as set by the legislature, basically says to NEC, do it on a county basis, use the validated census result, which is by law, do it on a county basis, ensure that every constituency stays within the county, but the number of seats will not exceed 100 by this tier-based threshold. Now, did the legislature say add 3 seats to Monserrato? Did we say add, did the House say add 2 seats to Rivers, add 1 seat to Sano? No. I challenge anybody.
So where are these district numbers coming from?
Good. Because it is simple mathematics. You use the validated census result, and I just gave you figures. By parity of reasoning, if you use the validated census result and the tier-based threshold that says from 700,001 and above are 3 seats, Monserrato County, that has 1.9 million people, definitely falls in that tier. So it means Monserrato will have 3 seats added. Nimba County, that has 900,000 plus, will definitely have 3 seats added because they fall in that tier. That is how the mathematics was able to arrive at 16 additional seats.
So the claims or report that the House just apportioned new seats in these counties are not the correct information. Is that what you're saying?
Definitely not. There's no resolution that carries or that says the House is instructing or is setting a threshold and informing NEC that they should add 3 seats to Monserrato, they should add 3 seats to Nima, they should add 2 seats, they shouldn't add a seat to Rivers. No. The legislature simply set the threshold, and by logic or reasoning, for those who know statistics and mathematics, we can easily tell you how many seats will be added, and that's how we came out with the figures of 16.
So now the argument now will be this whole tier-based thing. So if the Constitution says set the threshold, how many persons supposed to make one electoral district?
The Constitution did not say set the threshold. The Constitution said prescribe in line with population growth and movement. That's what the Constitution said.
So I mean, this measure used is being criticized usually by members of the public, including even members of the legislature.
Any method used would have been criticized, because the truth is the legislature finds itself in a very difficult position at the moment. The House, because it starts with the House, right? The House could have chosen to pretend like they don't know that the Constitution says in Article 80E that immediately following the census you should do this, because it's a very difficult job to do. But we would rather do it now, because the more the legislature pretends that this job is not mandatory, the more we're faced with this serious situation of having unequal representation at the House. So start to fix it now. Look, this is not the proper fix. I'll be honest with you. This is not the best we can. I mean, there's not what's the right way to put it? It's not the solution to the imbalance in our population. It's not a solution. Of course, the solution has to come through policies that will encourage people to stay in their counties and have almost evenly distributed population. That may be the solution. For as long as we continue to have economic activities focused in particular parts of the country, we will always be faced with this problem. This is not the solution to this problem, but this is the best method we can use to ensure that we're also meeting up with the constitutional requirement of equal representation under the law. People are asking about the economic benefits. People say, "Oh, why are you adding, more legislators to the legislature? Already the ones that are there are not doing anything. It's a burden to the country." Oh, Chief, the same law that gives you equal protection under the law, the same law that says as a Liberian citizen you're entitled to life, liberty, and freedom. It's the same constitution that says when we do census we should assist. So that the same constitution that you respect is the same constitution the legislature is respecting. If we do not agree that we should add seats, if we do not agree to pass on the constitution, the way to do it is to go through a referendum. But for as long as that law exists,
what are prospects
that
the Senate maybe you will understand detail of this and agree? They won't use concur.
And trust me, You see, when the people who wrote the law in 1986 wrote the law in Article 80E and said that immediately following the census, the Elections Commission should reapportion seats. They knew that it is a technical work to reapportion seats. They would have left it with a technical team, which is the Elections Commission, to wear maybe a long legislature and do it without the legislature being involved again. You know why the framers of the law said no? It's the lawmakers that should decide on how many persons will be represented at the legislature, because those who wrote the law understood that it's not just a statistical and mathematical process. It involves human beings. It involves tribal. It involves economical. It involves all kinds of different details, most of which are tied to politics. So it says, then you go back to the political people to ensure that any decision made also satisfies the politics before it goes to the technical people to draw boundaries. That's why the legislature is supposed to set the threshold. And trust me, I told you currently there are about 53 members of the House that signed onto this document. That's more than 2/3, because the politicians understand what it means to have
majority does not always mean right.
Yeah, but in a representative democracy or in the one we practice, you see the majority have the
carries the rule, but it does not always
so
make them right.
It will go to the Senate, and all senators will not agree, right? All senators will not agree. But I guarantee you that by the time, and I think even those who are yet to understand it are the ones who have not agreed. As soon as they understand it, you know, as much as I'm trying to explain it, I'm sure they will see the logic in it.
Do you think the House or the House's leadership is at fault if people are misinterpreting the work, the action of the House? Do you blame the House?
Not necessarily. Look, sometimes
how easily the people got to know that, oh yeah, the House is apportioning seat instead of running with this tier-based threshold?
Because gossip and misinformation travel twice as fast.
And somebody say when you hold on to information, people will...
Nobody has held on to anything. This decision was taken on Tuesday. Long before Tuesday, people were insinuating in the public that the House were apportioning seats. It came from senators long before Tuesday. So how is the House to be blamed? So the work is still ongoing behind the scenes and people are insinuating.
So Vesely, too many Liberians, we heard some of them on the show yesterday, are arguing that the country should prioritize at this point the economic challenges over creating additional districts. Why does the House consider the proposal important at this time?
Because the Constitution says so. The Constitution mandates so. The same Constitution that says that the government must ensure that every citizen, you know, has right to equal opportunities, you know, economic activities, education, all those kinds of things. It's the same Constitution that says immediately following the census, the House must do this. Why are we?
But they did not do it immediately. They waited until an election was held. The election was held in 2023.
Yeah, but the census result was validated in 2024. You don't operate outside of the validated census result. The census was held, but the census result has to be compiled and all the technical work done on it. And then the census house, has to come to the legislature and say, after we have done all our work, this is the result. It is only on that result that the legislature can act. Okay. So the legislature got that result on 2024 and started working immediately. I'm saying behind the scenes, long before the decision was taken on Tuesday, several technical work have gone into this.
So, okay, so you have some more questions, but we want to give the remaining time to members of the public who were hugely involved with this discussion to ask Vesely some questions and provide some. So, call us now 0777 700 995. 0555995 The first caller right here is from out of the country. Let's speak to this person. Good morning. Good morning. No, you can hold a call. So we'll take this one. Good morning.
Marka.
Good morning.
Yeah, let me say good morning to Vess. This is Samuel D. Kepler. Good morning to His Excellency President Marka, and I join you from Magiri. Vesely, thank you so much for what you are doing for our speaker, especially the strategic position you sit as a.
My man, let's speak to the let's speak to the issue at stake, my man. Let's speak to the whole threshold and apportioning of seed business. Forget about all I want.
I'm sorry. I called on the show this morning. I had not done it on your show, but I'm doing it because Vesely knows some of us. Yes, I called personally to ask you for assistance in your office and the speaker.
My man, you call the man on a number. Don't do that to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
My name is T.S. That's why I joined this conversation was History 11.
Okay.
And let me say hello to the media advisor in the office of the speaker, who elaborated very well on this issue to shut down the discussion. And even my very self, I had so many doubts. Because when the issue came out, member of the number 11, I accused the speaker of apportioning the issue onto himself. And going and pray or whosoever that want to contest against him. After listening to the deliberation by Vesely, and I want to believe that entire population number 11 are following, they are now convinced that it is not a decision of the Honorable Speaker, but rather the full member of the National Legislature. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Marka.
Good morning.
So this is Jeremiah Williams. Commonly known. I want to ask the studio guys, Mr. President Smoke, what it is this that we will not wait for another censor before doing that. And secondly, why?
Yes, sir, do you want for us to violate the Constitution too?
That word, Marka, let me ask when you need to violate the Constitution, right? Along with him, but he had his own decision.
Okay.
So again, I think the Constitution also says that anything of such to be to the public, where we have we have to have another way that people will have the impact. Why they do not allow the impact for the people to take part into the election by having these things around. Another thing is that what I foresee this will be confusion because people will go into another people's country to get citizens from there to make that decision to give their representation. It will bring confusion because the people of this country do not.
So who will carry people to other people's district and our National Elections Commission?
They
I mean, stop! Don't provide something that will look like misinformation. Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to get this call, but each time I pick, you. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. This is OKFM.
Yeah.
You're live. Go ahead. This is OKFM.
Thank you very much. My name is Frank Gibson. I call from Paris.
Okay.
There are so many very serious, important things happening in the country, and you get a bunch of crooks.
No, but we can start a discussion like that now. We are discussing a specific issue. Come and make your point. You can't just come and start, branding people all that kind of way. No, that on Facebook. Yeah, this is, please, we can't do that.
You as allow him a points, but take it back.
Yeah, let him go back and be, saver with.
Yeah,
you can just start the show, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, the name remains Thomas that called for Johnson with Pellet and Gestion number 2 Motorado Kansas. Let me appreciate you, my brother, in it too. The clarity you make to motivate mama to be friends. Yeah, because yesterday they really bullied the lawmakers. There is something that they have not even know what they are doing. They get in our hall, they just make everything in their interest. And me, I even with the boys and what they were doing yesterday. And it shouldn't be only the radio station. I think I would love for you to go all platform to be able to clarify from whatever you are there today. Because you can't be able to look up a month of the 73 lawmakers to sit in that place there to say that they will not even know what they are doing. They just come out to get there for their own, they are better doing. I think we shouldn't do the country like this. It's a group of people where we put them somewhere, let us be able to ask them what they are doing and be able to bring them on board to be able to ask them questions.
All right, thank you. Let me go back to this caller from France. The way you engage the show is how come I wanted you to take a break and come back and be safer. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Fatu, for your far-sightedness. This is Frank Gibson again.
Okay.
There are many serious good things happening, serious important things happening in the country. Hospitals have no medication. Students are not going to school. The university is dilapidated. The president is there taking the country going to fly now. Those oversights are very much important than setting another 16 seat to add to the overriding budget of the legislature. Those people, I don't know. This is one of the most useless legislatures we ever had in this country.
So let me ask you. This issue we are discussing is based on the Constitution. So we have cited a couple of provisions. I think you should be speaking to the specifics of this issue instead of just making those blanket. Yeah. So
the Constitution also gave the legislature the power to make sure that the citizens' lives are better. So now the 73 of them we got now, what are they?
So is it fair? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you that both the bread and butter business one side. Let me ask you this question: is it fair for one district to have 80,000 residents and another district has 30,000? Is that fair representation? Just that question.
So the fair representation is the district with the 80,000 representation sometimes live better than the one that have 30,000. So that's the
how.
You will believe that the 30,000 should live better than the 80,000, but sometimes it's on opposite. Let's go back to the county where you call Grand Crew, where they get a small districts with less population. Sometimes their lives are more deplorable than those that live in Monserrado and Nimba County where they have big districts. That's the problem. You look at the University of Liberia, look at JFK, look at Redemption Hospital, look at the very hospital. Those people sit there, they want to impact, they want to clock up the budget again to steal from the Liberian people and up to the one they're already stealing.
They have no capacity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Marka.
Good morning, go ahead.
And let me say good morning to Jeffrey and your co-host Fatu. I am Peter Dana and I joined from District 11 this morning.
Okay.
Well, I just want to make a few comments. When you check around the 70th district in Monserrado County, we have so many districts that are overcrowded. For example, District 17 has more voters in terms of registration. When you go and also go to District 4 of Monserrado County, also have over 60,000. I don't want to mention District 11 if people say that because it is the Speaker District, so in trying to apportion seat so that he can get free ride in 2029. No, that is not my point. But the issue here is that even District 11 is one of the biggest districts in Monserrado County. It has 4 townships. It runs from Jijiwa straight to Kawe. Very big. So those people who are criticizing the legislature action, I think they have to think better. Okay. Particularly for the Senate, Senator Conan and Senator Dillon, they have to take that time to read that document very carefully. Because when you read it, it will get a clear understanding that what the lower house has done is no way in violation of the Constitution. The Constitution of the country giving the right to prescribe law that will lay down procedure for the national electoral community to work, and they have done that.
So I don't know why they are too hasty to come or to criticize the work of the legislature. We support they or what.
But even us, the media, we're just getting to know everything Vesely is talking about.
Yeah,
so I expect
so-
us to know which should just appear in our head.
No,
But thank you.
The people are not doing well with information dissemination, and that is the problem. We talked about this thing this morning.
Yeah.
So the journalists will come in. Vesely, the house has been hearing this issue, people discussing it everywhere for months. Even when Romekria proposed this whole district creation thing, it's been going around. We didn't hear anybody come from the house to come and say and clarify how it is
But
done.
that's why you go call Vesely to speak to the public. And we the public appreciate.
But now people have already speculated, and the wrong narratives are already gone, right?
However, it may correct some of the information.
It's not belated.
But thank you.
In a discussion in the public. They have been a problem for some time now.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. I think we're going to.
Yes, this last one. Good morning.
Yeah, Marka Davis.
Good morning.
Good morning again. So I don't think you have done justice to me this morning. We follow the show is our home religiously almost every day.
Chief.
This is Summer Day Kekula. I come in, Chief. I come in.
Let's discuss the issue that we are discussing. You say you know Vesely personally. You supposed to do the one that I want to talking here.
Yeah,
I'm not doing any injustice to you, brother. Speak to the issue at
Marka
stake.
Davis. Yeah, so let me appreciate Vess for the issue. But like I said again, I'm a librarian attack in Broadway. I called to ask Vesely for assistance. To be honest, our in Broadway, I've been displaying. He know me when you're when you're on prime event. I called this morning to ask him for assistance.
You don't have his number?
Or the speaker office. I don't have a number. That I do it for people.
So you find a number. Vesely?
Yeah, Marka. Let me thank the callers, those who took their time to participate on the show. Marka, like I always say, you don't blame, sometimes, or in some ways, you don't blame members of the public for usually speculating. People speculate when there's an information gap. And I get that. But unfortunately in our country, because the society is not as sophisticated as it ought to be, most people would rather thrive on hearsay or DC than try to search for proper information. I don't take such an excuse from journalists because our job is to dig beyond. We can't be like the ordinary public, just listening to what anybody says. We have a responsibility to go beyond. If you hear something, I challenge you, no journalist has picked up a phone and called and asked, okay, we heard this, we've been seeing this. What is it? Give us some information. Nobody has done that. That is a journalist's job. So I don't owe an apology to journalists for them not receiving the information because it is their job to go beyond and search for the information.
You have journalists at the House of Representatives. Do you provide them this information? Do you think they are aware of this?
OKFM has a reporter at the House.
Mhm.
I would suppose that she should be on top of that information. I can't suggest whether she knows or not. I mean, it's up to the editorial team here to ask her whether she knows about it. But I would only think that the information is there and it's up to journalists to fetch for them. But to the callers directly, I mean, I know there is a public show and people have their rights to, to air their views. But some of the people who call, have basically nothing to offer. I've been in this talk show position for, say 7, 8 years. Yeah, I get that, right? A lot of people pick up the phone. Yeah. But sometimes you have nothing to add to the show. You don't have value to bring. There's a public platform. Just stay off it. Then just call and just, sort of market your ignorance. Look, we say the Constitution mandates. Somebody says, why they didn't wait for the next election? It says immediately following the census and before the next election. Somebody say, why wait for the other election to come past? How do we explain that? Somebody says how it will bring confusion because somebody got to take somebody from the other district and get it. I mean, come on. They say the Elections Commission will draw the boundaries. wasn't that person here? I'm sure that person sounds old enough to have been around before 2011. Before 2011, the way they had the districts in Monserrado, that's not how the districts are today. Districts were redone and renamed, right? Where I live today, the Bannersville used to be District 8 when the former representative, what's his name, was our representative at the time. And before we became District 11, as it is now, several districts have changed, right? Wasn't that person around? That's what will happen when the Elections Commission does its delineation exercise. Districts will change, names will change. That's how it will be. But basically, I think the intent of coming here today was to provide explanation to the public. I'm sure the reason why most of the people did not call was because whatever doubts they may have had were cleared by the explanation provided. And like I said, I'll publish the list of the signatures. I have them now. So I'll share them immediately after the show so that the public gets to see that dear lawmakers affix their signature to this because they know, because they have been given the information as to what this is. Nobody has contravened the Constitution. Nobody has overstepped. The House has not overreached its limits. The House has kept within its constitutional mandate of basically prescribing a threshold in line with population growth and movement, and that is what the House has done. We'll go on the Senate.
So Vasily, before you leave, just one question. There was also this issue raised about how with the creation of additional districts affect the national budget and also, let's say, particularly legislative spendings.
Yeah, so, when the people wrote the law in 1986, they knew that the more people have to be represented, and the more we have even representation, it means that there will be more lawmakers. So it means that there will be more legislative spending. That is what the law says.
Would the legislators maybe decide to cut down their salaries to help the national government with the spending?
I'll be honest with you, that will not be the case. I don't see it being the case. What I see being the case is that they will have to increase the budget of the national legislature to accommodate the new lawmakers. You know why? Because the law says so. Look, when you read it, the law is not written in abstract. The law is written, as the Constitution is written, there are different provisions. When we honor every single provision of the Constitution, the law works for everybody. There will be an increment in the budget of the legislature. I like to say it bluntly so that people start getting used to it. You gotta know this society. The truth is that by 2029, it's not going to be immediate. People say, the people trying to put the money in there so they can eat it now. No, nobody's going to add one seat to this legislature, the 55th legislature. What will happen is that it will take effect as of the elections of 2029. So we're talking 2030 year. So now that it is being done, it means that the government has to start planning for the accommodation of those additional seats. So that by 2030, by the budget of 2030, there is a budgetary allotment.
How many are the additional seats?
16 in number. So we'll take the number of lawmakers to 89. Well within the constitutional limit of 100. Right? So between now to 2030, the government has to be planning for the accommodation of additional 16 lawmakers to the House of Representatives. That is what the law says. The country has to prepare for that.
Vasily, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Okay. Vasily Smo is media advisor to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Richie Nambwekon. Let's take this break. We'll be back shortly.
Woke up sound and strong this morning, a lot of questions on my mind. Is to you or is it when? Do we care? Do we worry about the way this world is going? About the million things I stare. Do we dream of another world somewhere nowhere in the sky? just listen. Stay alive, we must share.
Yes. So there was an oversight earlier, so I want to do this as we usher in our next guest. Yes, this. Let me do this. Yeah, we normally do this at first, but I don't know. It was only happening. Yeah, let's get this for.
Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. I am Ralisa Massa. On July 16, Representative Anthony Williams claimed during a live interview on Variety Online News that 64% of Liberia's population consists of young people. He made the statement while speaking to the press following the passage of the Youth Legislative Caucus. To verify the claim, we reviewed data from the Liberia's Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services based on the 2022 National Population and Housing Census, as well as the Liberia National Youth Policy and Action Plan 2025 to 2029, developed with support from UNFPA Liberia. According to the census, Liberia's population is made up of a large proportion of children, adolescents, and youth ranging from ages 0 to 35 years. The report states that youth make up 74.5% of the total population of Liberia. Similarly, the Liberia National Youth Policy 2025 to 2029 states that 75% of Liberia's population is under the age of 35, highlighting the country's predominantly youthful demographic. Based on our research, we conclude that Representative Williams' claim that 64% of Liberia's population constitutes young people is incorrect. According to the 2022 National Census Thematic Report, nearly 75% of the country's population consists of young people under 35. And a viral message containing a link claiming that the National Port Authority has launched a recruitment program is circulating online. The message alleges that the MPA is recruiting 10,000 young people to fill vacant positions at ports across the country. The message urges interested applicants to apply through the share link, claiming it is the MPA's official recruitment portal. To verify the claim, we checked the National Port Authority's official website and found no announcement about any recruitment exercise. We also contacted the NPA for clarification. In response, the institution confirmed that the link is not valid and said it is not conducting any recruitment through the viral website. We also tested the link using ScamDoc, an online website reputation checker. ScamDoc assigned the website a poor trust score and warned users to exercise extreme caution when accessing the link. Based on these findings, we conclude that the claim that the National Port Authority is recruiting 10,000 youths through the viral link is misleading. There is no evidence that the recruitment is legitimate, and the NPA has disowned the website. The public is therefore advised not to click, share, or submit personal information through the link. This is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, OKFM, Prom FM, and Kia Radio to counter disinformation and help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We'll be back on Monday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. If you want us to fact check a claim for you, please send us a text to WhatsApp on 0778 986778 and we will check for you. Also follow us on Facebook at Local Voices Liberia, at Twitter at LVL Fact Check, and go to our website www.localvoicesliberia.com. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
And now every action say every day, no one wants to be the weaker one. What's the price for the Does it really matter who you are? Does it really